in dating, T. Marie, how can a man recognize just in the dating stages? Because right
Hmm.
now we're talking about getting to the point where we can
Right.
become providers, protectors, etc. It's the step before courting, because there is
Hmm.
an order. I believe
It
there's
is.
dating,
Absolutely.
courting, and then marriage.
Right.
Okay, so during the dating process, how can a man recognize a builder and or a destroyer? If that
How
makes
can a
sense.
man and a woman recognize if a woman is a builder or a destroyer?
Yeah, how can
Okay.
we reckon? What are some of the indicators that lets us know that okay, this woman is a builder or this woman is a destroyer? Like, how can we? We have a hard time being able to decipher that sometimes.
Are you asking me now?
Yes, I am in your
Okay.
opinion.
So the, you can always, we all talk a good game, but you can always recognize a builder or a destroyer in a woman by her words and her actions, to be honest, her follow-up actions. If she's always speaking negatively, and we always start off good. All of us do. We have our first date faces or whatever. But the more
Hmm.
you have a conversation with anybody, with the person, you will see their characteristics. You will see if they're selfish. You will see if they're a giver. You can see if they have a relationship with their family. You can see how they feel about a man. You know what I'm saying? That you can see if they think that a man is a chore, or if they think a man is no good, or if they think all men are whatever. What we keep not doing is having these conversations that lead us to listen for indicators, right, of how a person's character is, and then watching their follow up. Selfishness is the biggest indicator that a person cannot be in a relationship, because relationships are selfless. It's all about what you're giving to the person, not what you're getting. So if you start talking to a person, they want to know what you can do for them, right? We talked about this before. Bring to the table and not what they have to offer. Then that's a big indicator that this person is a destroyer that will always tear down stuff. People who are just trying to take, take, and take. You can't build if you're still pulling bricks from a building. So just
Right.
listen to what she says, how she speaks about her own life, how she speaks about the things that she wants, how she speaks about you as a person. She's interested in you. If she's just talking about herself, or does she want to get to know you and your likes and your dislikes, and other things about you that make you who you are.
Right. So Robert, I'm gonna put you on the gun on this one, brother. Because some of the women that have asked me this before, and maybe we can give some clarification from Miss T. Marie as we talk as well. But why is it that, in your own opinion, we're not talking about Robert? Robert one thing I do know about Robert. Robert has a great opinion on life. So pull yourself aside. I want you to look at it indirectly, as far as your brothers out here. Why is it that one woman isn't enough for men?
Well, that's easy. I'm gonna tell you why. God didn't create man to have one woman.
Okay, what made you
It's
say
simple,
that?
huh?
Why
Because
you say
listen,
that?
so I'm not even a religious person. You know what I mean? However, but all the books and prophecies that you study, all the
Right,
prophets had more than one wife. You know what I mean? I'm talking about from the Quran, you
right,
die, you gonna come back and get 70 wives or something like every religion, women had more than one wife until you get to the New Testament. You know what I
right,
mean? But even in the Old Testament, if you a Bible thumper, even in the Old Testament, Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Jacob, all of them had more than one. Solomon, you like. So then we get to the New Testament, and now all of a sudden it's one woman to one man. And literally, I don't remember it ever saying that, but that's how we look at it, right?
Probably because you
right.
seen how that worked out in the Old Testament for all the brothers, huh? Didn't work out so well, did it?
It did work out well.
No, it didn't.
How come it didn't? Moses had several kids, lived over 100 some years old. All of them did.
That
Like,
didn't
how
have
did
nothing to do with him having more than one wife. And then when he was supposed to
Yes,
have
it
all the
did. 'Cause,
different,
he had two different lineage from different wives. You know what I mean? And guess
and then
what? He created the
they
world.
became enemies of each other, correct?
Yes, but they don't have
Okay,
to.
because
They
he
don't
was
have
supposed
to.
to. Okay,
But they didn't have to. But guess
okay.
what? If you're a thumper, then you have to understand from those people, you got the whole United States, the world, right? From those people. So even though they became enemies, supposedly or allegedly, you know, we
You
still
can't take
created
one piece and be alleged on the other piece. So what? What is it? What are we doing?
All I'm saying, hold on now. Okay, so I'm giving you an example. If that's the case, let me give you a note. Okay, I just mentioned that. Let me give you a note. So I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, right? Mm-hmm. So I can meet someone clear across over there in Asia somewhere. He's just another man. We're not the same height. We're not the same build. We're not the same color. We're not the same anything. But he had the same desires. He cheat. You know what I mean? He can't be faithful to one woman. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Everything is a choice. You know what I mean? Everything is a choice. But however, just the nature of man, because that's the way we're created. Why this person that we have nothing in common will have the same struggles I have when it comes to having more than one wife or more than one woman or having a girlfriend and being monogamous. You know, so I look at examples like that, plus how, you know, the prophets and all the scriptures back then, you know what I mean? So, you know, it come up to the decision that's why it's so hard. Women don't have that problem. For the most part, some of them probably do, you know what I mean? But, you know.
Yeah, what problem? We don't have what problem.
Have that problem on one man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, hey, I like him. I want to deal with him. That all's good for you all. Like, you know, because naturally y'all made like Sarah. Sarah didn't have no another husband. Man, Sarah only had Moses, even though Moses had a concubine. You know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make is all about how we're created. You know what I mean? You can't change the way you're created. You know what I mean? Some people got twisted chromosomes. I call it twisted chromosomes. Born like that. You know what I mean? They born like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we ain't gonna get into that, but there's some truth. There is some truth to that. Right. There's definitely some truth to your chromosomes.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take it even a step further, and I'm not saying like, okay, so it's 2023. We do understand that what applied in 2023 may not apply in 2020, right? We understand that. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna take it back historically. Yes, we were designed to have more than one due to the fact of one being population, right? Is it much easier for one man to impregnate multiple women, right? To keep the life cycle going. Now, again, I'm not saying that, you know, it's 2023 that we should follow these rules, but sometimes through history and through our own even family traits, there are certain traits that we do carry from many moons ago, right?
Yep.
So one of those biggest traits that we've carried through those many moons have been the trait of having more than one woman for whatever reason, right? Now, 2023, yes, we do have to make a decision to either be honest or to be faithful, right? I really truly think that if men were handling their business and being honest and faithful to their significant others, I'm not saying all women would like to do it, but I would think that there would be a vast majority of women would be okay with it if they're well taken care of.
Bullshit.
Okay,
that is bullshit. We are absolutely not going to be okay with sharing unless the majority of us is not going to be okay with that. Let me
the grandmama and them did. They were okay with it.
No, they weren't. They did what they had to do. They did what they had to do because they weren't going to be able to take care of their families because they weren't working. They were raising those 7, 8, 9 kids or however many they had. What else were they going to do? The man was the breadwinner and took care of the house. She had no opportunity to go anywhere else. So she wasn't happy. She tolerated what she had to tolerate, not that she wanted. And I'm going to tell you, my own grandmother told me, speaking of her own mouth, about how she would, if she had the opportunity to do things differently, that she would have. And this through history. But just the thing is, women did not have the same options as they do now. They didn't have, as far as when it came to financial, when it came to choices, and when it came to peace, right? So we no longer have to depend on men for our financial, right, to be sustained financially. So therefore, we are like even more so like, look, if you're not coming where you can come and be with me and only me, then you can go on, because there are men who can actually do that. And the more we cultivate the idea that we know men had more wives back in the day and that they have more urges. But the more we make that a quote, not an excuse, but make it an acceptable reason why, and stop talking about and not talk about self-control and the reason why you shouldn't want to be that or do that, because you're always going to desire other women. Please don't think that we don't desire other men. Okay, please don't get it twisted and think that when we get a husband that we don't see somebody and we like, damn, I would get with him. Please don't think that. Just know that we don't act on that because we're more committed to our union and we're not tearing up.
Why is that? Union. Why do you think women are more committed to their
That's
union?
That's how we're built. We're more committed. We are the glue.
So y'all built. You guys are built differently, right?
We are the person that holds the household together. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true. What I'm saying is all of it boils down to what do you want to do? The self-control. It boils down to what's going to be best for you and your family. It boils down to, hey, if I want these things, what do I need to do these things? It's just like, if you want to lose weight and you know how much you love cake, meat, whatever, you don't just keep on doing it even though you desire it. You know that you got to change your diet in order to get the results that you want. It's the same in any decision-making process. You got to make some choices and some decisions to get the results that you want. You need to know what you want before you even start dealing with a woman. If you ain't ready or you don't have the mindset to be like, I'm good with all these chicks, then don't mess with no woman when you know that we want somebody that's just for us. Get your self-control together. And if you can't get your self-control together, then don't get with nobody who you know want one person. Get with them women who want more than one. Just like the girl on the TV that's got all the 3 different dudes. Get with her. Mm-hmm. Get with her. But don't get with me. And don't get with these women who you know want solid shit. That's not cool. We don't care what you can do or what desires you have. That's yours. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Just don't step with us and expect us to accept what your desires are if they're not ours, because there's somebody else who will, and it ain't us.
Right, there has to be a fairness behind it. I mean, honesty is always the best policy. If you're at a certain place in life where you just want to be with more than just one woman, I mean, women, give the woman an option. I do agree with that.
Don't do that. It's women who would love for you to do it, but don't come in our space when we trying to keep our peace. Hell no.
But I can definitely say, and I understand this, and I guess one of the things is we are built differently. How we handle business and how we see things, life are different. So one of the things I heard you say, I hear a lot of women say is, well, we got the opportunity to cheat and do all these things. Yes, you do. But because of the way that you're made up, you're most likely to be a little bit more loyal than a man is. So we'll never be even.
We still have those same desires. We just choose to.
I know, but your choices are pretty much made by how you're designed, right? So you're not really designed to jump off the ledge more so than a man may jump off the ledge, right? Yeah. So there's a difference. So we can't say, we can say, we have the same desires, etc. Yeah, you do have the same desires. But what makes us different is how we view those things and how we act, what's innately in us. So we're not going to see it and do it the same way. And that's why when you guys have a little bit more loyalty, not saying we don't have less loyalty, but you guys tend to be more loyal in the situation than we are. That's just what it is.
And so therefore, I say again, right, that is a choice for you. We're not knocking the fact that you want to knock down who you want to knock down, when you want to knock down, and how many you want to knock down. What we're saying is not in our house. But there's a group of women. So my problem with this is,
what's your problem?
This is my problem. Y'all want to step not y'all, but those men want to step to women who don't want that, who want monogamy. And then you want to force that on us because that's what you want to do. Why don't you go mess with those other women who don't care what you do? Sir, go ahead. I guess. Oh, no, it's not my show. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead, tell him.
No, go ahead. No. This y'all show. That's why I put y'all together. Go ahead, Robert.
He got something to say.
So first thing I said was everyone has a choice, right? Mm-hmm. And so we agree on that. Mm-hmm. However, the fact of the matter is you're saying that those are your desires and this, that, and other, right? but women have desires too. They just not as strong as the man's desire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is, being that our desires are so much harder to fight because we are naturally made to have more than one woman. Like, you all, are you trying to say our desires are the same? Like they get the same weight on them?
What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. It is actually has been shown that you may desire more than one woman, but there's also a time where there's a choice that you have to make based on what your outcomes for your life have to be. There's some self-control that you have to make. So you have to find, or whenever you're trying, a partner that help. Not only she can't help you, but it has to get to a point in you where you're like, okay, my desire to have a family, build whatever it is going to outweigh my desire to go and cheat, even if I want to go do something else. And the best way to do that is to find a partner, because you're never going to find a partner that's going to be 100%, right? But you do have to kind of find that partner that hits those high desires that you want, and it makes it less tempting to be out there, because normally when you're out there, you're still just trying to find something that's hitting. You ain't quite found it yet, so something I'm still trying to hit, whether it's in you that you're missing or it's in that person, but something's going on that you're still trying to hit a target, right, that you haven't hit yet.
I think you kind of lost me there, but you do agree that it's a lot easier for you all to be faithful than it is for me.
No, I don't. Okay.
You don't agree with that?
Don't and cheat, Robert.
No. Like you said, you agree with me. You telling me you know.
That's a great.
Hold
on, now that's a great question.
But what does your level of desire have to do with the choice that you're going to make? You know what I'm saying? Mark, when you go to the gym every day, or whenever y'all go to the gym, you know you want this outcome. What do? You discipline yourself and your body and whatever you need to do in order to get those results. It is the same exact thing. If you just keep saying, well, I can just do this because it's in me. You know how many people could be like, I cuss you out because that's how I am, or I talk to you this way because that's just how I am. It's so much easier for me to say that because of my experiences. Let's just say I cuss everybody out. I talk shit to you. I talk bad to you because that's what I've seen in my family. That's what I've done. That's what I've been. So you don't have to accept me because I'm gonna talk bad to you, right?
Right.
You don't have to deal with that, and it's not cool just because that's who I am, right? It's not cool, right? So somewhere I have to create some discipline in order to get the results that I want, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that y'all desires to have more than one woman isn't there. I agree with that 1,000%. I've seen it. I understand that. What I'm saying is, until you grab some discipline, right, you're gonna always have these issues. But leave us the fuck alone while you're doing okay. That's all I'm saying. But
you are saying the weight is a little.
Yes, different. Robert. Yes, whatever you say.
You go back in a minute.
Until I agree with what the hell you said. So
Robert,
yes to whatever the hell you about to say. Okay?
Robert wants you to circle back around. Hey, but I'm gonna say this. You use the gym, right? You use the gym as an example, right? As far as the discipline part. Yes, you do have to be disciplined when you're in the gym. Now, when the discipline comes to get in the gym, I have a group of people that I do work out. What happens is, what makes me work out is my ego, right? My ego makes me work out harder. My ego makes me want to be at the level or above the level that the person I'm working out with. So let's translate that into a relationship. The ego. So here's the thing: the ego does the same thing on the back end too. We see a nice little one.
Pride comes before the fall.
I understand that.
Always a setup.
I'm just saying, right? The ego does, and I'm saying it does take discipline to make sure that you don't stop, or just be honest with the person and say, I am feeling this way. You see what I'm saying? Maybe she will accept it or not. I don't know.
She ain't accept it.
But look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Hey, she might not, but let's be honest. To find someone that you're clicking with, find somebody that's got your best interest, that takes care of you, that takes care of your heart, etc. They don't come easy these days.
They don't come easy, but they're out there. You gotta think about that. Like,
I know.
I'm not at the point where I don't have good choices.
Right.
I'm at the point where I got to make sure I choose what's good for me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so because I believe that there are great men out there, I always encounter great men. I'm going to encounter some suckers, or I'm going to encounter some people that I'm not really interested in or compatible with. Doesn't mean they're not good men. Just means they're not for me. Because I believe that that's out there. And so your belief, to me, your belief system really sets your atmosphere. So if I'm always talking about men ain't no good men out there, I'm never gonna attract that. My energy's not gonna attract that. But I don't have that problem attracting good, decent men. That's
right,
not my issue.
Right, absolutely.
Can I say something real? So basically, in other words, you just agree with what he said, because the thing is, what he said was that it's hard to find a man that got this, got that, good companion, good color, good to take care of your best interests, etc., etc. If that was the kind of man that you find, now you'll find a good man, but he may not have all those quality, right? So that's basically what you just said. That's the same thing Mark just said. So they are hard to find. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
You know,
I don't think. Well, we maybe
man, but he might be corny.
What?
For example, you may find a good man, but he may be corny. So therefore, y'all may not be compatible. You may find a good man because he take care of his kids and y'all can have fun, but he might not be financially stable. You know what I mean? So it's good men out there. So I agree with you, but a lot of times they're not gonna hit all the points. Because if they did, then you'll be with them.
But we can't be looking for anybody to hit all the points. You don't hit everybody's point. I don't hit everybody's point. Mark don't hit everybody's point.
80-20 rule. 80-20 rule,
hey,
right?
There you go. It's 80-20 rule.
So therefore, you ain't found the 80 yet. Because
I'm not gonna say that, but what I will say is, this is what I will say. Most of this got more to do with me than it does with them, because I'm still gradually shifting myself into.
We're getting to it now. It has
more to do with me than it does with them, because now I have reasons that I'm very particular right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been through some, things that I'm not trying to put. You know what I'm saying?
It went right back to what we talked about earlier. Listen, now the conversation steering right back to what you said earlier, Mark. Independent women are harder to normally satisfy.
No. This has nothing to do with my independence. It has a lot to do with my experience. You need to know my story before you say that. This has nothing to do with nothing to do with me being able to provide for me. It has a lot to be able to do with what I know is compatible for me at this point in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Timmy, you used the trigger word, which was the trigger word for men that you used that you realized you didn't. You just said was, I am particular. Right.
Everybody should be particular. You should be.
Okay. Right. You right. But here's the thing, though, T. Marie. Us men, we hear that and we see it more so. Right. We're particular, but let's be honest.
Right. Hold on. Men are the worst.
But we're not too particular, because sometimes we'll stick digging anything too. Okay.
That's right. But you will stick your dick in anything, but you won't marry, cover, protect, and take care of anything.
Right.
You're a fucking duck. But what I'm saying
let's go back. So I guess Robert was saying, like, when he hear those things, when he said the independent woman, the key word you said, I am particular.